Hey guys, hope everybody's having a fantastic day. This is a knife I've been waiting for to come out from Concept. I was not able to get one from Concept, but luckily my brother Ryan Ellis got one actually and let me check it out to do a review. This is a knife designed by a community member, my brother Tactical Terry, 1931 Leatherworks. Terry Cure is his name, the designer of this knife. Super guy, designed a great knife. I was in a pass around and got to check out the prototype, and this is the production model. Not sure which one Ryan got. Concept Packing Materials. This is going to be kind of a review because I've already got a review. I'll try to put it in the card of the prototype, which was not like this. This has got a couple of noticeable upgrades. Let's get this out of the way. One thing I'm noticing about this is it's got the anodized tie. The one I reviewed was black and black. The black S35VN blade is the standard blade material. Titanium is the standard handle. But it looks like they've got this, what they're calling micro rock texture, which is very unique and very comfortable. Makes for a very positive grip on the knife. Reversible clip, titanium clip, nested liner lock, anodized hardware, top flipper, little smaller knife. We'll get some dimensions in a little while, but I've got a 3.5-inch palm. So I'm considering this a medium, as Christine from Women Carry Knives would say. That's a cross between small and medium. So we've got a front flipper or a flipper hole. And we've got that nested liner lock. So within this titanium handle, you have a nested liner that's attached back where that pocket clip comes in. Got your detent ball there. And what the result there is, as opposed to a frame lock, you've got an internal locking mechanism so your fingers aren't going to put pressure on it and make it, affect that detent. And to me, the detents are very crisp. This knife feels perfectly tuned for either a top flip, which if you're new to the channel, I'm not a fan of front flippers or top flippers. However, every now and then I come across a knife that has it set up very well. This one does have the little front flipper tab kind of sticking straight up, giving you a little extension from the knife. So whether I touch it here where the jimping is or touch it right up at the corner, that 90 degrees catches my thumb. So it's really kind of mindless where I can flip it from even down here low and it's fine. I'm personally a middle finger flicker, and this knife middle finger flicks very well. It's also a thumb flicker, which I'm not. My thumbs aren't very coordinated. Had this been a frame lock, I would have been putting pressure on the frame and it would have been very hard for me to thumb flick it. And another advantage is it's a very easy knife to slow roll, which to me is quite satisfying because you can feel the lock up, and it's just a nice way to manipulate the lock. So you've got this beautiful knife in a lot of different colorways. I think Concept does Damascus as well as any of the Chinese company. It's two stainless steels. I don't know if it's, I don't know which two they are right off the top of my head. I should. But the blade shape on this knife, or you can get this in S35VN. The blade shape is gorgeous. You've got this nice harpoon, no jimping, smooth, comfortable harpoon. Starts to swedge right here, and then you've got a reverse, or kind of a reverse tanto, we'll call it. But you've got some nice belly here, really nice curvature on that cutting surface. Nice access to my liner lock. You'll notice that I've got a little bit lower relief here, which lets me pass right through. Perfectly centered. Nice over halfway back spacer. A color that's probably personally not my #1 choice. They also make this in blacks and dark copper with the rock, and either with the S35 or the Damascus blade. I like the Damascus. I have no problem with it. I've had several concept knives with their stainless Damascus. I've used them. I've sharpened them. They work very well. But what really makes this knife is special before we start to cut, where the real rubber meets the road, is how comfortable it is in hand. So you've got this contour rock pattern, and then you've got this natural choil that just your hand fits in. So I can death grip this knife as hard as I can squeeze it, and I get the slightest mark from that clip. I can tell you this would be a cardboard destroying machine. It would be a detail cutting machine, because you've got from a pinch grip to your regular grip to a pull grip, you name it. It might not be the pokiest, stabbiest, but I can tell you that point will definitely deter a Slurpee swiper. So should you need to use it as a defensive blade, I think it serves pretty much every EDC function that I could personally run into in the city. If I was needing a harder knife to beat up out in the country, I'd probably have a fixed blade, which I usually have anyway. But for a folding knife, I think Terry has absolutely knocked it out of the park. I'm a huge fan. I think it's a fantastic knife. Let's do a little cutting with it. Then we'll do some size comparisons. I've cut with the prototype. The prototype has been passed around. I don't think Ryan's cut with this one yet. Sorry guys, I'm in my slicey trance. So it cuts paper very well, very quietly, which tells me the edge geometry and the overall blade geometry is very smooth. I usually cut cardboard. It's not my knife. I don't want to leave streaks on Ryan's blade, so I'm going to forego the cardboard cutting. But I can tell you one thing I think they might have done from the prototype. If they don't, I don't remember it being quite as good. The flipper hole is perfect for me. I mean, no matter where I put my finger, whether it's at the top of the hole or it's at the bottom of the hole, I don't even have to think about it. It's just very easy to fidget and middle flip. And then again, the grip is kind of predetermined by where your thumb lands and where this choil ends, and it works really well. So I'll give you a couple of quick size comparisons. It's a smaller knife. We're going to call it medium, which is cross between small and medium. Shorter than the Benchmade Bug Out. The only other small knife I have that I can show is the CV. That's the VV Baby Banter. So we'll call it about maybe a 1/2 inch smaller than the Benchmade Bug Out. I've also got a Sharpie from just a perspective. So Sharpie's probably 1.5 inches shorter, maybe 2 inches shorter. And that's going to translate into real-time dimensions. We're going to call it right over 6 3/4. Right at a 3-inch total blade. The grip is 4 inches. So you've got 4 inches from right here to right here. Again, a reversible clip, but you've got very much a 4-inch grip. If you wanted to hold it back here, which I can't imagine that you would, but if you did, your dimension would be 3.5 inches. So 3.5 inches if you want to keep it right here. Cutting edge is probably going to come in right at 2 3/4 exactly, because you've got room for that choil. And then the blade stock thickness is pretty substantial. 0.1520. Behind the edge, which I never get great, but I try to get close. 0.0160 roughly, but very slicey, very clean. You do have these scales, titanium rock scales, over the skeletonized liner, both on the liner lock and on the show side. You can see Terry's Maker's Mark there. I think that shows up. On the other side, you've got just real muted concept logo there. Let's see if I can get that to show up. There it is. And again, the rock pattern is unique. It's very, very comfortable. The knife turned out great. I'm really proud of Terry. I think he did a great job. I think these are selling like crazy. I'm a big fan. I will leave a couple of links where you can pick this knife up if you're interested. I think it's a good one. It's the knife that I was eagerly anticipating and was hoping to get my hand on a review copy and wasn't able to, but thanks to Ryan, and I thank him again for sending this up and letting me check it out. It's just basically an original, reliable EDC knife, you know, with trusted materials, kind of designed for comfort and function, in my opinion. Kind of designed to perform in all situations, regardless of what you're cutting. I think Terry knocked it out of the park. But that is the Orlock, guys. I want to give a special thanks to all the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to anyone who just comes in and watches my EDC content or discovers my EDC content, my knife content. I do my best. I try to let you know how knives make me feel. There are a lot of people out there that test knives, and I always urge you to look at many reviews, right? I'm kind of showing you the things I like about the knife and how they make me feel, but we all use knives differently and make sure it fits your needs. But guys, I appreciate you. If you're so inclined, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. Give me a thumbs up if you don't mind, but most importantly, please look out for the guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Please look out for each other. Go forward with love in your heart and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.